everyone! Well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we will be talking about today is Color Street. And just as a reminder to everybody, Color Street is the fun MLM.
What about the fun? Who wants to cover the fun?
Every time I hear the word fun now, I just think of that clip and just the way she says it, just fun. I love it so much, and I've had a few of you say, I can't ever hear fun the same way again. So I have no choice but to associate Color Street with fun. And the video we will be watching today is a Color Street team call, mainly focusing on, you guessed it, recruiting people. When is it not mainly focused on that, right? Alright, let's get started.
And okay, I want to start with the question that you guys posted. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave you guys, you're not on mute. If you feel like it's going to be noisy where you are, just mute it, but I'll leave it. Let me just get through answering the question. And then if you guys want to expand on that, if anybody has things they want to add, or if you want to ask for more clarification or ask for more questions, then please feel free. I want this to be interactive, which is why I wanted to do it on Zoom rather than Facebook Live. So here we go. Okay. I think this was actually your question. There was a couple here. So what about a stylist who's lost a job, wants to sign up, can't come up with the money for her kit? What can she do? Okay, so I mean, this comes up, you know, right? Someone, whether they've lost their job or not, if they just don't feel like they can afford the kit, right? So as you guys should know by now, we cannot help people buy their kits. We cannot discount kits. We cannot supplement kits. So what we can do is talk.
You know, in your own business, though, if you want to give somebody a discount, you want to help them out, you want to do something for the customer, whatever it is, you can do it. But not in Color Street, not in MLMs. That's so weird that you can't give a discount to someone in your own business.
Them about how quickly they can earn that money back, right? So if $600 in sales, you're earning your kit money back, okay? Because you're getting 28% on that, and that's going to get you to about 160 or so, and there's your kit right there. So what does $600 in sales look like? Well, to me, that's like 2 to 4 parties, right? If our parties are, you know, 150 to qualify, you're making what, $75, 37 bucks on that, right? So if you're getting up to if you're doing a party that's $300, you're making like 75, right? So I would say on average, if your parties are like 150 to 300, you're going to look at like 2 to 4 of those to get to 600. But bigger picture.
So in order to make your money back from the starter kit, you need to sell $600 worth of product. To me, that's a lot. And I know you just say like, oh, every party you're bound to sell $150 worth of product. And, you know, maybe averaging that could be true, but it all depends on who is in your lives or who are in your parties, who is buying from you. I mean, how many do people actually need at a time? I mean, maybe they could buy 2. It's supposed to be that like they last, I think, 2 weeks. So you buy 2 a month, and I think Color Street nail strips average between $10 and $15, I believe, and then the stylist makes a commission of about 25%. So somebody pays in to the starter kit, which is about $130, and they need to sell about $600 worth of product just to make their money back from the kit. To me, that's asking a lot. That's a lot of nail polish strips to sell, especially when they only average between $10 and $15. But remember, guys, they're so fun that people become addicted and just have so much fun.
My point is, I would just explain to them how quickly they can make that money back and that you will help them. So they're not in this alone. You're not going to sign them up and they're just off and running and you're like, all right, good luck, you know, go make your money. You are there to help them. There are all of the trainings. And your next question, Desiree, was, you know, what if someone, like, they want to become more comfortable talking to people, getting out of their comfort zone? Well,
that's really something that you can't teach someone. That's just something that people have to put themselves out there and get used to. It's like, you know, YouTube, you just become more comfortable talking in front of a camera, in front of a bunch of lights, like I am. I feel like I've gotten so much more comfortable over the last 1.5 years that I've been doing this. I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell. But going back to when they say like, oh, we'll train you, we'll help you, you won't do this alone. Will you help me find customers? Will you send customers my way so that I can get used to speaking in front of people who I don't know? Probably not, because you're not going to send your customers to somebody else so that they get that commission, even though you will get somewhat of a commission based off of their sale, but a lot smaller of a commission than you would if they just bought straight from you. So, yes, they can help you, maybe know how to do a party, like what you need to know about doing a party. But if you have nobody at the party and you have nobody to invite, you can't make your money back.
You know, we can't force people to be someone they're not, but what we can do is offer them trainings, right? So we have all of the corporate trainings, we have the trainings in the app, we have these kinds of trainings, we have trainings in True Brilliance, we have the Strong Start Stylist call. So there's a lot of ways that they can get training to help them feel more comfortable. And the good thing right now is we're doing so much through social media. I mean, it's a great place for introverts, right? Because you're not in front of people, you're posting things. Yes, it helps if you're going live and stuff like that. I think it's kind of a good place to sort of get someone's feet wet in sales, right? So, but anyway, so back to like the money, I'm always a little bit weary of people who say they can't afford the starter kit. I'll be honest, like it's such a good deal. You're getting so much for it. And where else can you start a business for $129, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. And the low cost for the website and everything. I mean, it doesn't even compare to some other companies where you're paying $30 for a website and you've got all these monthly minimums, right? So, I mean, our business model is, I think, great for people who don't have a lot to put into it right away. And I just would be careful getting sucked into like sob stories. Okay. You guys know I'm really blunt and I'm direct. So I'll just.
Okay. So much for being a company that is a people company and we want to build relationships with people. A lot of people, especially at this time that this was recorded, this was a month into the pandemic and we had no idea that it would still be going on a year from now. I mean, we kind of had like a general idea of like it probably will. I mean, just now we are just barely crawling out of it. So at this point, a month into it, so many people were losing their jobs. So many people weren't sure how they could afford food or gas for their car or diapers for their baby. They were scared. And then to say, like, I'm wary of people who don't have $130 to spend on their business. $130 can be a month's worth of groceries for some people, or 2 weeks, depending. It can be a car payment. It can be the cell phone bill that you need to run your business because you can work this from your phone. You don't know what that person's situation is. So to say that you are wary of people who say they can't afford it is extremely rude to say, and to question them that like, wow, you clearly don't care to start your business for this cheap. You can actually start businesses for less than $130. And they always go back to, you have your own website, it's so much cheaper than like $30 for some sites. Yeah, some sites are 30, some are 100. It all depends. We've talked about this. Some of you said you can start websites for free, and if you want to add more doodads and whatnot, you can pay like the premium monthly whatever. You can start some websites for $10 a month. And also, it's not their website. They're just sending someone to like colorstreet.com/ their name or a number like 24967 so that they can send people to that and they get the commission when someone buys through their personal site. Versus if it is your own website, it would be like, we'll take like my channel name, for example, like respectfullysarcastic.com would be my own website, like something that I created. And a reason why places charge a little more monthly is because you get the creative freedom to design it however you want. You get to do what you want on that website versus Color Street. You don't get a say of the prices, the colors, the design, the outlook, all of it. That's why certain website companies charge a monthly fee, because they give you the tools to design it the way that you want. It's a give and take. I mean, yes, you're only spending $10 a month to have your own link, I guess, on Color Street so that you get the commission, versus maybe spending $30 a month where it is your own brand name and you got to design all of it. You got a say of everything. That to me is worth the extra $20 a month to have the creative freedom.
be honest. Like I've had people where I don't know if I can do it. Okay, you know, they got to make that decision for themselves. All right. So, okay, moving on.
Maybe they're also telling you they can't afford it because it's their way of letting you down without, you know, making you feel too bad. But apparently, certain people just, I guess, say, I hate your products and move on.
Does that answer your question? Give me a thumbs up, or you can ask more, or anybody else have questions or comments on that?
Yeah, I think more or less with her, yes, she's lost her job, but she's one of those quiet types. Just the whole, I think she's just worried she won't have enough clientele. And I keep telling her, message family, friends, relatives, you know, church people. Like her daughter goes to, or used to go to church nursery, you know, talk to those.
Okay, so I'll cut you off for a second and I'll just generalize that. So that is another obstacle that we face, right? Is people say, I don't know anybody.
I know that I don't know enough people to sell $600 just to make the price of my kit back. I know I don't. You know, I mean, maybe over time, you know, family would buy and a couple friends, maybe, but she lost her job and you are wanting her to spend $130. So she already doesn't know where money's going to come from, and you want her to be more in the hole than she already is. And then clearly she's like, I can't do sales because I don't know enough people and I don't have enough friends and family. I don't have that. So this is clearly not for me. I don't have the money. I lost my job. I don't have enough friends and family. And even if, let's say she does, everyone's going through a crazy time, specifically at this time. I mean, in general, we're still doing that. But I guess I'm just focused on the time of people were so scared. People were, you know, so lost and confused. And then to just be like, well, I mean, you could just sell to friends and family. It's like, well, they're going through a hard time too. So for me to ask them to buy nail polish strips at this time, you're asking a lot.
I don't know enough people, or there's so many people in my town that sell it already. And so what I always tell them is it does not matter. The people that are going to buy from you and even become your team members are people that you would never expect, right? I mean, my whole team, we've got like 1,000 girls on the team now. I maybe knew.
Wow. So she's very high up in the company, I'm guessing. 1,000 girls on your team. 1,000.
Like 3 of you before this even started. So, you know, especially with Facebook and Facebook parties, she's going to be reaching people all over the country that she has never known, that she never thought would be interested. And the people that become your customers really surprise you. Like, it's not my closest friends and family most of the time that are buying from me. It is people that like I went to high school with, or I went to college with, that I don't even know anymore, but they see me on Facebook, you know, or it's the people I've gained from the parties. It's really.
Well, what if she does a party on her own Facebook and 3 people watch? That's it, you know? And of course, maybe she can ask like a friend, like, hey, can you host a party? And then maybe that friend only brings 5 people. You don't know that person's situation. You are, and another thing they do is they put their situation onto other people. And they assume like, well, I had, you know, a bunch of ex-high school friends who bought from me and joined underneath me. That's great. Maybe this girl, the one who lost her job, maybe she didn't have many friends in high school. I know I didn't. I know that I don't have many friends on Facebook. I mean, I don't really use Facebook at all, really. I go and check it occasionally. Like, if, you know, I get an email like, hey, it's blah, blah, blah's birthday. And I'm like, okay, I'll go over and say happy birthday. You know, see what's going on Facebook. Usually the same stuff. Go from there. But they always seem to put their personality, their situation onto other people and assume that that person has the same sort of thing. It's like, well, if you don't have a lot of family members, you clearly have friends, or friends in high school, or friends of friends. And it's like, maybe they have no friends, and that's okay, you know, but that's going to be a lot more difficult to sell product. A lot of times they say, reach out to family and friends. That's always the first thing they say. And a lot of people are like, I don't have family that'll buy from me. I don't have a lot of friends. And they're like, you don't have a lot of friends? Really? Well, did you know people in high school? Like, yeah, but I don't feel comfortable talking to them, or I don't want to talk to them. And that's why we see a lot of ex-high school friends reach out to people they weren't even friends with or people they bullied, and because they're just trying as hard as they can because they're told to just reach out to everyone on their friends list. Just everyone is a potential customer / recruit.
Really, that for me is the parties, and it's word of mouth and it's referrals. And I live in, a little community here in Orange County. There's about 10 of us, I think, right now on the team. And I had like 2 new people start last week, and I'm seeing them post. I'm like seeing all the new people that are still buying from them in where we live. And it's like, because there are so many people to go around, and the people that see your post versus someone else, even if you're in the same circle, you just never know who's going to see it. So to me, I just had someone even last night saying to me, I don't know if I want to do it in my small town. There's already a few people, blah, blah, blah. And I just gave her the same spiel. So people need to kind of get out of that. But, and again, we're so young and so new. It's not like we're Mary Kay, who's been around forever and there's, millions of people doing it. Like, we're still such a tiny population. And I meet people, I'm sure you guys too, every single day that have never even heard of Color Street yet.
I remember the first video that I did on Color Street, I had a lot of people in the comments say, I've never even heard of this MLM. And I hadn't really either until, I forgot how I heard about it. I think it was through the site that shall not be named. I think I saw a couple posts on it, so I started to look more into it. And they've been around for 6 years, I think, something like that, 6 or 7. So a very baby MLM compared to most, but it's still an MLM. They still are focused on recruitment, as we can see via this whole team call is mainly how to get people to join who are maybe on the fence or don't have enough money, which is not your place. If they don't have enough money, leave them alone. Maybe get back to them later on. Just follow up, make sure everything's, well, don't do that. Leave them alone. But you know what I mean? To say, oh, I don't get, people who make up an excuse that they don't have enough money. Guess what? That's not an excuse. That's an extremely common thing for people to not just have $130 lying around to spend on nail polish strips so that they can sell $600 worth in order to make their money back. That's just still crazy to me.
So there's still so much business to go around, and people, they shouldn't worry about that. Comments, anything, questions on that part? Let's see. Okay. All right. So next question. And one of our directors asked this one, and I think it's great. Well, actually, one of our senior directors, she hit that recently. How many follow-ups should you do before giving up on somebody and giving them their space?
1.
Okay, great question. So here's what I do. After I send somebody the info, I follow up in 1 to 2 days and just ask if they've read the info. If they have not responded to me, I will wait another day or 2, ask again. I will then probably wait a few more days, ask one more time. So I'm kind of 3 strikes and I'm out of there for a while. Okay. So if
for a while, not 3 strikes and I'm out, 3 strikes and, oh, don't worry, I'll come back to you.
Asking 3 times and they're not getting back to me, I'm like, all right, I got to give them their space.
Yeah, maybe take that as a hint.
No, and especially on Messenger, you can see if they've read it, right? So and so I kind of walk away from the situation, and I would probably circle back in a month and then check in with them then. Or if something in that time comes up that would entice them to join, all of a sudden, in February, we got the join in, you get the free. I would reach out to them then. When we got the app and, the trainings that you have tweets to redeem, I would reach out then. So, I think that you can find things that give you a purpose to check back in, but I definitely wouldn't hound people. I mean, they have to want it, right? You can't force them to want it. You can't force them to be interested. If I have to keep checking in with you and you're not even writing me back, then clearly you're not that interested, right? So,
check back in 3, 4, 5 times for you to take the hint. Me personally, if I sent someone information, I saw they read it, didn't respond to me, all right, they're clearly not interested. I wouldn't send them another message and then another one and then another one. I'd be like, they clearly don't want to do this, so I'm going to sit back instead of being annoying and naggy and hey, just checking in. Hey, girl, saw that you were online. Just wanted to see if you read my message, even though I saw that you read it. I just want you to join underneath me, please.
No, I just think like don't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to spread it around. And I hear people saying like, I've got this one person, I just keep trying, It's like you got to move away from that. You should be talking to 10 people at a time, about the opportunity.
I know earlier in the call she said she wasn't going to mute someone, but there's one girl in this call that's outside, and clearly we can hear the wind. It's like there's reasons why you should mute people, just for like distractions, so that it doesn't sound, the audio isn't horrible.
So, and then I think I made one more note about this. Or, all right, you chatted. What if they bring up wanting to sell it every time? I mean, again, like every time they host a nail bar, they're bringing up wanting to sell it. Well, just tell them you know where to find me. I mean, at that point, like, what can you do? Like, you can only want it for them so much. They have to want it for themselves. Okay.
And clearly, anybody in an MLM really wants you to want it because it benefits them.
All right. Any questions on that? Any other comments? People have their own opinion. We all in agreement? Okay, good. All right. This is a great question. This was submitted by, how do you keep your team motivated? Okay, so let's say you've got a team now. Great, you're so excited. You've enrolled like 12 people, and next thing you know, 6 of them aren't doing anything, right? That is very common and very typical in direct sales. They say about half of the people that you have on your team are going to work the business, and the other half aren't really going to do anything.
So then you need, oh my goodness, no wonder they're just constantly recruiting, because even if they have 10 people underneath them and only 4 doing a little bit of work and the other ones don't really care, maybe you ranked up, but you are set at a certain rank because you need people below you to rank up to a certain rank in order for you to rank up. Oh, it's exhausting.
And that's okay. That is why we have to constantly be enrolling and bringing in new people and getting that fresh blood on the team, and getting those people that are so excited in the beginning.
Fresh blood is a great way to word it. MLMs are like mosquitoes, just looking for some fresh blood.
And that will spread. But the things that you can kind of do, or what I try to do, is that you have to be checking in with your people on a regular basis, right? You need to be accessible to them, and they need to feel like you're looking out for them too. So following up with them and encouraging their small successes, like maybe it's just that they haven't sold anything in a couple months, and all of a sudden you see that they must have sold a party pack because they've got 39 PV. It's like, hey, I just noticed that you had a sale. Like, awesome. Did you do something different this month? Or just, being in contact with them and always being their cheerleader. But again, it's the same thing with the signing up. You cannot want this more than they do. You cannot motivate them to do something that they don't want to do. You can only incentivize and push so much, right? And sometimes people lose their excitement for, so many different reasons, and you don't know what's going on, behind the scenes. Even if you are in touch with them constantly, they might not tell you what's really happening. So all you can do is
That's actually some very good advice. Like, you don't know what personal things they are dealing with, and maybe they don't want to work this business like a full-time job. Maybe they just wanted it for the discount, or maybe they just want to do it on their own time. So, needing your team to all be on the same page and all be wanting it just as much as you is a really difficult thing to do. You can only, have so many people who want to do it, and that has to be so hard that you need to, you want to rank up in order to make more money. But again, you're dependent on people below you to want this and desire this and, want to rank up as well. It's like, that is just always such a downfall to MLMs with, recruiting, is in order to rank up, you are dependent on the people below you to rank up as well, to sell X amount, and you can't force that upon people. Versus like if it was just based on selling, and you knew that you could sell $1,000 in a week, $1,000 the next week, and the company congratulated you, gave you more percentage for commission, and gave you bonuses for that. That's where it would be easier as an individual versus depending on 6, 12, 100 people below you to take this seriously.
encourage and give them the tools for success, give them tips. You know, if you're
or not even take it seriously, but be able to find people to sell to, find people to recruit. Clearly, that's a difficult thing.
Be the leader like that you want them to be, right? And I brought this up recently in another call that we had. Like, last year was hard for me. I had a baby. I had 2 back surgeries. Like, it wasn't a great year for me.
Sounds like a sob story. I don't think any of them should care.
I didn't have a whole lot of time to focus on this. And I noticed a difference. Like, my sales now, because in January.
Yeah, because in 2020, it was just such an easy year for everybody.
Okay. So that answers the questions that were submitted. Any questions on those? If not, I'll go into my little quick notes and then we'll open it up to just whatever questions you guys have. Good so far? Okay. All right. So I don't know about you guys, but I like seeing a comma in my paycheck. All right. How do you guys feel about commas in your paychecks? Pretty good, right? So how do you get there? You can do it through sales, absolutely, but you're going to have to sell a whole hell of a lot of product to see a comma every month.
Yeah, I would have to sell quite a bit in order to see a comma. But there's another way. I wonder what that could be.
You get it through building a team. This should be your focus.
How do they say this stuff and not, have a red flag? Like, I always have the FTC website specifically talking about MLMs and pyramid schemes, and I believe it's either like the first sentence or one of the first paragraphs where it says, if to make money it is highly focused on recruitment, run away. That's what the FTC says. They're like, don't fall for it. Don't go towards it. And that is what all of these are always talking about. They always say, yeah, you can sell. It's like whatever. But enrolling or recruiting, whatever we want to call it, I see how she's calling it enrolling because recruitment has a negative stigma associated with MLMs. But enrolling sounds a lot nicer, doesn't it?
Okay, especially the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, 7 of you I see on here. You're here because you're interested in enrolling and building a team. Okay. You need to be offering this opportunity to everybody. I know I say this all the time, but you guys.
I feel like that's something they all say. That's not that. That's a nothing answer. Like, they're aware they have to offer to everyone. Start with your friends and family, and then work towards everybody in the world. If every single person in the world wanted to join Color Street, let's say, the people at the bottom would literally run out of humans to recruit. Like, there isn't enough people in order for everyone to make the amount of money that they claim every single person can make. That's the issue with focusing on recruitment versus just selling the product.
Need to hear it over and over again. Do not prejudge who gets this opportunity.
It's like, take out Color Street. This is every single MLM. We were just talking about, what was it, doTERRA or... no, it was Paparazzi. She was talking about don't prejudge everyone. The people that I thought would never join are the ones who were, hitting the ground running, joining my team. It's all the same. It's the same thing. And the fact that this woman has 1,000 people on her team, and at least that's what I think I remember her saying. And unless she's saying like overall, like via her upline and then all of the people like, down the pyramid along with her, she is hosting this call, wanting more people to recruit. It's just never enough. It's recruit, recruit, recruit. There's never a number of stopping having people underneath you and downlines just growing bigger and bigger.
If you were hosting a dinner party and everybody came over, would you only offer the dessert to the people you thought liked dessert? That'd be pretty rude, right?
If you had unless like random people showed up, but like if I had a dinner party and like I knew who was gonna come, I probably would not offer a dessert to someone I know doesn't like what I'm serving or didn't want it. I'd probably just like, hey, if anybody wants dessert, there you go. Have it. I don't care. that's how I would be as a salesperson. Do you want it? No? Alright, cool. I'm so good at sales.
You'd offer it to everybody and let them make the choice on their own. Offering an opportunity is not being pushy, okay? You know what pushy looks like. You know what salesy looks like. You don't have to be that person.
No, but it all is packaged in different ways.
You do need to ask. So I'm asking everybody. I wait till they try their nails. I'll check in. How do you like your nails? Mostly the answer is, I love them. Great. Do you have any interest in becoming a stylist?
I couldn't imagine buying anything, like just buying something and someone reach out to me and being like, "Oh, you love my product? Do you want to like work underneath me and create your own business?" I'd be like, "That went from 0 to 100 so quickly."
Okay, what else do I want to talk about? And I will open it up to you guys, ask me anything you want, but I just want to make sure I get through all of the little notes I made. Otherwise I will forget. Okay, posting is great and you should be doing it, right? You should be posting about the opportunity in your VIP group and on your personal page, but posting only gets you so far. It is called direct sales for a reason. You need to be direct with people. You need to reach out directly to them. It makes people feel good. They're like, wow, she wants me on her team. Okay, cool, you know? So you've got to do that. And I think posts, you'll see me, I post about the opportunity in sort of a basic way, like here's what's in the starter kit, but you should also be posting blessings. And I need to be better about that too, but you should be talking about what the business has done for you. And it could be something as small as you can now go to Starbucks every day of the week if you want to and not even think twice about it, right? Or it could be something as big as like, I now get a $500 bonus every month towards my, they call it a lifestyle bonus, right? Or a car or whatever it might be. But you need to be showing people that. You also need to be showing people how much fun you are having, okay? There are different reasons people
The fun! Oh my goodness, the fun part.
Get into this business. Some get into it for the money. Some get into it to have something of their own. Some get into it to make new friends. There are so many different reasons, and you don't know what that person's reason might be. So you want to make sure you're touching on all of those different things. Money, right? And you can't just say, I'm making X amount of dollars a month, all right? We're not allowed to say that. What you can say is, well, once we're allowed to go on vacations again, look at this amazing vacation I'm on. Color Street paid for this, right? Stuff like that. But you need to be showing that you're having fun. And you guys, you should be having fun. We're selling
nail polish strips. It's so fun. Oh my goodness, the fun is unlimited. You have to be having fun. We are having fun. Fun.
nail polish. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, hello, like how much fun. So you need to be having fun with it. You need to be showing that if they join your team, they're going to have fun. And you need to also maybe talk about all of the support that they're going to have, right? So when you're talking to somebody, let's go back to talking directly to someone. If you're talking to somebody about signing up, and again, they're giving you that spiel, I don't know how I can do this. I don't know what to do. I've never done sales.
It's not a spiel. It's them being honest with you.
For one, I always tell them you're not selling, you are sharing, right? You are sharing this product.
That's true. Well, you are selling a lifestyle of spending a bunch of money on nail polish strips in order to hopefully have a downline. You're sharing and selling that. But what does that even mean? In order to make your money back, you have to sell the product, not just share the product. What?
Sharing this opportunity. But regardless of that, I would just reassure them how much training we have available. It's pretty incredible. It's every single week there's more than one thing that they can be tuning into. So there's no excuse for like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, right? That brings me to another.
I could sit through 6 hour, 8 hour, you know what? Screw it. 10-hour days of whatever training they have, and I know I would still be terrible at sales.
Point that I didn't make a note on. Time. That is one of the biggest things people will say to me, right? I just don't have the time. Well, there are so many people doing this business that I don't know how they have the time either, but they do it, right? You find the time for the things that are important to you. And
again, the comparison of like, well, Julie over there has 4 kids and, all of them are in sports and she's constantly running around and she does this and that and she's the PTA mom, but she's making it work. So, why can't you make it work? You don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know what I have time for and what I don't have time for. So to say that other people make time for it, so you should, hate that argument.
I find the busier I am, the more productive I am, right?
And that's great for you. Some people get way too overwhelmed when they're extremely busy. Some people thrive in being busy. Like my sister's one of those people, like she loves having like 10 different things going on in her life at once. If I have like more than 2 things going on, it depends. Sometimes I am like, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. Everybody just deals with things differently, and that is okay. I think that, like I said, some people thrive in having a bunch of, their day filled with stuff, and other people get way too overwhelmed and it kind of breaks them down and it makes them feel worse than when they weren't busy.
Okay, I've been rambling a lot. I've talked for like over 20 minutes. So any questions, comments, concerns, other things while we're all here that I can help you with?
This part of calls is always, it reminds me of being in school and like the teacher would ask a question and everyone would just kind of like look at each other and it'd be quiet. And then usually the teacher would call on someone and then the person would be like, I don't know, that's why I didn't answer.
I have a
Oh,
question.
someone unmuted.
I have a question.
Great.
When you're talking about getting in contact with people, and like anytime even when I do the 2 sentences, like you said, I mean, I at first I would try to say, okay, why do I love it so much and they need to know that? And I don't even do that anymore. I just really do the 2. I get nothing. I mean, I want to grow a team so bad.
Yeah.
I get ghosted. I mean, I
Like literally no response at all.
no response at all. Like I literally had to, I vented in my little team chat the other day because I was so close to just going on Canva and making a post that says, if I send you a text, at least respond.
Don't do that.
No, I didn't. And I would never do that. But I feel like, am I broadcasting? I mean, can they even hear me? And I don't know. I mean, I understand I've been making notes. That's what I'm looking at. But I understand all the stuff that you were talking about. And I'm there. I want it to happen. And
See? Oh my goodness. This is exactly it. They're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. They're doing everything their upline is telling them to do. It all just depends on other people. And if you're not getting answers, you're not getting responses, you're not getting sales, I mean, what can you do? You're doing everything right, but you're so dependent on other people to give you that yes.
just can't get the feedback.
I understand. And I'm sure it's extremely frustrating because you sound really passionate about it and it's something that you want, right? And you're trying and nobody wants. So, I think the best thing you can do, and it might not be the answer you want to hear, but just keep trying to find new customers.
I mean, what more can she say? Just keep asking people. That's the only answer there is.
So glad you guys were able to hop on. It's so nice to actually see people's faces. I think it's better than the just going live. So, all right, guys. Well, yeah. Good. Okay, so I'm here if you need me, and have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside, but get some fresh air too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
My pleasure.
Bye, Color Street lady. Okay, so that was a team call all about how to enroll, aka recruit people. We found out that, yeah, you can make money with sales, but you have to sell a lot. It's really about having a downline. Whoa! Something we've never heard of from any other MLM. And again, you take out Color Street, you take out them talking about nail polish, you can insert any MLM and it all sounds the same. It's all the same advice. It's all the same kind of people talking. It's all the same kind of questions. It's all the same kind of concerns. We heard the girl who's like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and nobody's talking to me. Nobody's giving me, listening to me. Nobody wants to join under my team, and I really, really, really want to create a team because that's how she makes money. the only answer they can give them is to just talk to more people. And it just must be absolutely so frustrating to have that be the answer when you feel like you are talking to so many people and getting absolutely nowhere day in and day out. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. And if you really, really, really liked it, hit the notification bell. Let's talk all things Color Street, the fun MLM, in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!